Chosen one, pause for a moment. This is not a coincidence. Heaven has just interrupted your timeline. You weren't meant to scroll past this because what's happening right now is not ordinary. This isn't just a post. This is a summons. Your spirit has been pulled into alignment with a divine appointment, and the timing is exact. You are not here by accident. You have arrived at the intersection of divine intention and supernatural release. Heaven whispered your name, and the echo of that whisper is what led you to this moment. There's a stirring in the atmosphere around you, and within you, that uneasiness in your chest, that strange sense of being watched or drawn that's not anxiety. That's a holy presence awakening you. Something sacred is happening, even if your mind can't explain it yet. Right now, the veil between heaven and earth is thinning, and in this space, God is speaking to you, not through thunder or lightning, but through a still, fierce clarity that refuses to be ignored. Congratulations, your miracle has just arrived. This is not a hopeful suggestion. It is a verdict from the courts of the Almighty. This moment is not sentimental or symbolic. It is spiritually surgical. God has seen every private tear, every buried hope, every prayer you whispered when you thought no one was listening. And today he is answering, not with delay, not with distance, but with immediacy. The spiritual realm has moved. The verdict has been released. Your life is about to be touched in ways no human hand could orchestrate. You have been chosen, not in theory, not someday, but now. Your angel has been standing watch over this moment. Heaven would not allow you to miss it. The fact that you are reading this is proof. The invitation is open. The gates are parted. Your spirit is being summoned forward. And if you say, yes, everything changes from here. You are not waiting for breakthrough anymore. It's here. This moment marks the arrival of the miracle you thought was far off, delayed, or forgotten. Heaven is not preparing it. It has released it. The door has opened. The shift has begun. Right now, favor is flowing into the atmosphere around your life like rain, covering your home, your body, your relationships, your finances. The miracle has not asked for your permission. It has been assigned to you, and now it's unfolding in real time. What once felt blocked is suddenly yielding. Where you once saw walls, God is revealing openings. He is covering your house with protection, your bank account with supernatural provision, and your body with divine strength. This is not symbolic language. It is a holy transaction in motion. You are standing in a moment of heavenly release. Blessing is descending like oxygen, unseen but undeniable. The heaviness you've carried is beginning to lift. The pressure is breaking. The floodgates are opening. And yet here is the warning. If you treat this moment as ordinary, you will miss what is sacred. This is not the time to dismiss the stirring you feel. Your spirit knows what your logic cannot yet grasp. The atmosphere around you is alive, with instruction, intervention, and divine activity. Angels have been sent to ensure that you do not bypass this breakthrough. What you do in faith right now, how you believe, how you receive, how you respond, will determine the depth of what manifests. Heaven is declaring over you, this is the moment I've chosen to shift the impossible. The miracle is no longer on the way. It has arrived, and you, chosen one, have just stepped into the edge of it. If your spirit stirred while reading this, if something inside you said, this is for me, comment below. 77, I receive the shift. The miracle has arrived. Don't let this moment pass unsealed. Let heaven and earth witness your agreement. You are not imagining this. You've been summoned. The gate is open. Now step through. You didn't just arrive at this moment, you were carried here. Through nights when sleep refused to come, when fear wrapped around your chest like chains, when silent prayers dissolved into your pillow and hope felt like a memory. God was present. He was not distant. He was collecting. Every whispered cry, every groan too deep for language, every breathless plea uttered in the shadows was gathered into his hands. Nothing you poured out was ignored. Not one tear was wasted. As C.S. Lewis wrote in letters to Malcolm chiefly on prayer, we may ignore, but we can nowhere evade the presence of God. The world is crowded with him. He walks everywhere incognito. In your darkest nights when God seemed silent, his presence was not absent, but actively at work, gathering your tears and prayers as sacred offerings. Lewis's insight assures you that every moment of your struggle was seen and held by a God who never left your side, preparing you for this moment of divine restoration. There were nights when darkness pressed in too closely, and mornings when rising felt like war. Still you got up. Still you held on. Still you dared to believe that maybe, just maybe, God still saw you. And now the Lord responds, not with delay, but with movement. Not with theory, but with power. This moment is not about future relief. It is about present restoration. Heaven has recorded your endurance, and the reward is being released. This isn't the end of a hard season. This is the opening of a supernatural one. God is declaring, your time of struggle is closing. Your season of unstoppable miracles is beginning. What people called unchangeable God is rewriting in a moment. Where you once felt like you had to beg for small blessings, you are now being positioned to receive overflow. Not because you earned it, but because you endured. Not because you were perfect, but because you refused to let go when everything told you to. Today is not like yesterday. This is the day heaven visits your house. And what was delayed, what was denied, what felt dead will now begin to live again. What tried to overwhelm you is now being overwhelmed by heaven. The battle that pressed against your mind, your body, your household, it didn't go unnoticed. God saw the weight. He felt the urgency. And now he is stepping in not symbolically but supernaturally. You are not unprotected. You are not exposed. You are surrounded. Right now, angelic forces are encamping around your life, not as distant watchers, but as divine warriors. Every force that tried to intimidate your soul is being confronted. You don't have to strive. You don't have to fix everything yourself. You don't have to carry the burden of holding your world together. God has released his angels with a charge to war on your behalf, to block what was sent to destroy you and to make a way where there was none. What the enemy tried to weaponize against you, heaven is now using as a pathway into victory. No harm will come near your dwelling, not because you are strong, but because you are shielded. The presence of God has drawn a line, and darkness has been forced to retreat. You have backup now, unseen but undeniable. Where there was fear, peace is taking residence. Where there was confusion, divine clarity is settling like dawn. You are not walking alone. You are being carried by the command of the Most High. Stand tall in this truth. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Not now, not ever. This is your covering. This is your covenant. And this protection is unshakable. The same God who split the Red Sea is the one moving in your story right now. The same power that held back roaring waves for Israel is the power that is parting obstacles before you. This isn't ancient myth. It's current reality. Heaven has not retired. Miracles are not locked in history. You are not reading about what used to be possible. You are standing in the atmosphere where the impossible is bowing before God's presence now. C.S. Lewis in The Problem of Pain wrote, God whispers to us in our pleasures, speaks in our consciences, but shouts in our pains. It is his megaphone to rouse a deaf world. Your battles were not random but divine shouts, calling you to recognize the miraculous power at work in your life. As Lewis suggests, your pain was God's megaphone, preparing you to stand in this moment where heaven's power is parting the seas of your obstacles, making the impossible possible. The God who shut the mouths of lions for Daniel is shutting down every voice of fear and accusation and torment that tried to steal your peace. The one who brought water from a barren rock is speaking to the dry places in your life, your finances, your energy, your hope, and commanding them to flow again. You are not forgotten in the wilderness. You are not abandoned in the silence. God is still the same yesterday, today, and forever. Let your faith rise, not based on feelings, but on remembrance. Remember who He is. Remember what He's done, and declare what He is doing again. This is not nostalgia. This is activation. The same Spirit who raised Christ from the dead now lives in you, and that means the resurrection power of heaven is at work in your reality. Today you will taste and see that the Lord is good, not just in stories, not just in sermons, but in your own life. What seemed too far, too late, too broken, too impossible, God is touching it now. And when He moves, no man, no system, no darkness can stand in the way. There is movement behind the veil. Things are shifting even when you can't see them. The delays that frustrated you, the doors that stayed locked, the moments that made you question your faith, they're not wasted. They were staging ground for the acceleration that's about to overtake you. Heaven is not stalling. Heaven has been preparing. And now the timing is right. The pace is changing. What took years before will happen in moments now. You are not in the same season. You've stepped into a divine window where favor will no longer come in waves. It will come as a flow. Doors will not only open, they will remain open. What was blocked is being unblocked. Keys are being placed into your hands. Strategies, solutions, and divine alignments that will open spaces no one can shut. Where others saw limits, God is writing permission. Where others close doors, God is saying, walk through. This favor is not fleeting. It is not temporary. What's coming isn't just a breakthrough, it's a banner. It will cover you, shield you, and move with you. This isn't the kind of blessing that fades when the crowd disappears. It's the kind that reshapes your life, your rhythm, and your reach. You're not receiving a visitation. You're stepping into a new dwelling, a new dimension. Don't mistake the speed for instability. When God accelerates something, it doesn't skip steps. It just moves by supernatural design. You're not being rushed. You're being elevated. You're not losing control. You're being carried by divine momentum. And every step you take in obedience is matching the rhythm of heaven's advance. You are not just being blessed. You are being unbound. There are patterns in your life that didn't begin with you, but they end with you. Generational cycles of lack, fear, sickness, brokenness, shame. They were passed down, but they are not eternal. They do not have divine permission to continue. The blood of Jesus speaks louder than the bloodlines of trauma. And today that blood is breaking every curse. You are not just stepping into your own freedom. You are standing at the head of a family line. What ends with you will never touch your children. What you fought in silence will not travel forward. Heaven has chosen you as the turning point. Your yes to God, your fight through pain, your refusal to quit has shifted the direction of everything connected to you. Right now, chains are falling off your lineage. You are not just breaking through for yourself, you are breaking through for the ones who came before you and the ones who will come after. You are standing where others collapsed. You are rising where others were silenced. And the reason the pressure has been so fierce is because the freedom coming through you is so massive. Your family story is being rewritten, not with survival, but with legacy, not with fear, but with authority, not with scarcity, but with overflow. You were not chosen just to escape. You were chosen to establish. You are not the end of your line. You are the rebirth of it. Heaven is declaring, the curse is broken. The future is clean. The bloodline is blessed. The God who owns the cattle on 1,000 hills has not overlooked your lack. He is not intimidated by your debt. Heaven is not withholding from you. Heaven is waiting for you to receive what's already been authorized. Right now, the realm of financial breakthrough is being opened over your life, not because of your striving, but because of God's promise. You have been faithful in lack. You have given when it cost you. You have trusted when the math didn't make sense. And now the windows of heaven are responding. This is not a temporary relief. This is a covenant shift. Divine provision is coming to overtake areas that have long been under pressure. Where you once saw overdraft and survival mode, you will now see overflow and sustainability. Your bank account is not the final word. God's abundance is. And He is not simply giving you enough to get by. He is pouring out more than enough, not just to sustain your life, but to empower your purpose. You are stepping into a season where money will no longer be a source of torment. It will be a tool in your hands to bless, to build, to break limitations. You were never meant to be enslaved to a system of fear and limitation. You are under heaven's economy now, and in that system there is no shortage. There is no anxiety. There is only supply strategy and supernatural release. God is canceling debts. He is unlocking resources. He is sending provision from unexpected places through divine connections, creative ideas, and open doors. No man can shut. What once felt like a ceiling is now breaking under the weight of favor. You won't have to chase the blessing. The blessing is already chasing you. The war in your mind has not gone unnoticed. The sleepless nights, the racing thoughts, the fear that crept in when no one else was around, heaven saw it all. And heaven is responding. Right now, peace is entering the places where anxiety once ruled. Not a surface calm, not a temporary distraction, but a supernatural stillness that goes deeper than logic and steadier than emotion. God is not just healing your body. He is restoring your mind. He is taking the tangled wires of trauma, fear, regret, and confusion and rewiring them with truth, light, and clarity. You will no longer live in the echo of old lies. You will no longer be tormented by what-ifs, false guilt, or the shadows of the past. The storm inside you is losing power because the Prince of Peace has stood up in your boat and said, "Peace, be still." The voice that once whispered defeat is being silenced. The heaviness that made it hard to breathe is lifting. You are being flooded with clarity, the kind that doesn't come from motivational words, but from divine touch. This is what healing feels like. Not always loud, not always dramatic, but undeniably holy. It clears the fog, steadies the pulse, and makes room for joy to live again. You are not broken beyond repair. You are not too far gone. What the enemy tried to fracture in your mind, God is restoring in full. He is giving you a sound mind, not just to survive the battle, but to walk confidently in victory. This is the season where peace will no longer be a visitor. It will be your new foundation. Those dreams you buried, the ones you stopped praying for, the ones you thought were too late, too broken, too far gone, God never forgot them. Heaven has been holding the blueprint, even when your hands let go. What looked dead was never denied. What you called over God called waiting. And now the waiting is ending. The resurrection has begun. There's a stirring in your spirit again, isn't there? That flicker of hope, that strange ache that feels like memory and fire all at once. It's your purpose breathing again. You were never meant to settle for survival. You were always meant to build, to pioneer, to walk in a vision so bold it made others question your sanity. But it wasn't delusion. It was destiny. And now God is reigniting what He once whispered to you in the dark. C.S. Lewis in Mere Christianity wrote, "It may be hard for an egg to turn into a bird. It would be a jolly sight harder for it to learn to fly while remaining an egg." Your buried dreams, like an egg, required time in the dark to transform into something ready to soar. Lewis's metaphor captures the divine process now unfolding. God is breaking the shell of despair to release the purpose within you, equipping you to fly into the destiny He has prepared. This isn't you revisiting old dreams with human strength. This is God breathing on them with divine fire. He is resurrecting ideas, passions, and promises with fresh power, aligning timing, resources, and opportunity in ways only heaven could orchestrate. You will dream again, not cautiously but wildly. You will create again, not in fear of failure, but in the confidence of divine backing. The dream is no longer a risk. It's an assignment. Don't be afraid if it feels unfamiliar. The dream is rising with more force than before because it's rising with God's authority, not just your desire. The version of you that's emerging is ready now, and what felt impossible last season is becoming inevitable in this one. You are not late. You are exactly on time, on divine time. You have not been overlooked. You have not been passed by. Heaven knows your name, and not in a vague, distant way, but in the way a king knows his heir. You were chosen before. Time began marked with divine intention, and set apart for a purpose no one else can fulfill. This isn't arrogance. This is identity. You are not ordinary. You are royal. Not because of bloodline, but because of covenant. You were never meant to blend in, never meant to shrink, never meant to merely exist. You were designed to carry glory, to walk with weight, with light, with authority that shifts the room when you enter. That's why the warfare has been so intense. That's why your process has been so long. The weight of your calling demanded a deeper foundation. But now the time has come. You are stepping into the promises of God, not crawling, not begging, but owning what heaven has already spoken over you. The inheritance that once felt distant is being pulled into your present. Every word God has declared over your life is alive, active, and echoing through your atmosphere. It's not just a prophecy anymore. It's a manifestation. You are no longer asking if you're chosen. You are walking as one who is. You're not seeking permission from people who didn't author your promise. You're moving in rhythm with the one who wrote your destiny. And as you step forward, know this: heaven backs every step. Angels move with your movement. Favor follows your obedience. And the weight of your identity will unlock doors no hand could open. Chosen one, the promise is not a concept. It's your new environment. Walk in it. Own it. Become it. You've endured in silence long enough. You've wept in secret, forgiven in private, served without applause. But God saw it all. And now he is preparing a public table in the very presence of those who questioned your worth, mocked your prayers, and dismissed your calling. Not out of revenge, but out of vindication. This is not about proving your enemies wrong. It's about proving God faithful. You are about to become the evidence that prayer works, that faith holds power, that obedience is never wasted. What was planted in tears will now be harvested in public joy. The very places where you were broken will become stages for breakthrough. The same streets where you were overlooked will echo with the sound of your testimony. You will not have to explain yourself. God's hand will speak for you. There is a divine unveiling taking place. You've been hidden for a reason, refined in the dark, shaped in the fire, strengthened in the silence. But now the season of emergence has come. What God has built in you behind the curtain is ready for the light. You are not being elevated for applause, but for assignment. You are not being noticed for fame, but for impact. And the glory that is rising on your life will not be shallow or showy. It will be weighty, sacred, and unmistakable. Heaven is releasing a spotlight that man can't manufacture. And when people see what God is doing through you, they will say, "Only God could have done this." You won't have to shout. Your fruit will speak. Your story will speak. And your life will declare what your words could never fully capture. God is real. God is near. And God is not done. You are not looping through another cycle. This is not a disguised repeat of what once broke you. This is a new chapter written by the hand of the author who knows how to turn ashes into beauty. God is not taking you back, he's taking you forward. What's ahead of you does not look like what's behind you. The season you've stepped into is not stitched with fear, lack, or betrayal. It is woven with promise, peace, and purpose. Every lesson you learned in the fire, every scar you carry from the wilderness, it was never in vain. It all prepared you to carry the weight of this blessing. You are not stepping into this new season as a victim of what happened. You are stepping in as a vessel of what survived. The old you is not invited to this place. The over-apologizing, overextending, overcompensating version of you has served its time. A stronger, clearer, more aligned version of you is taking the lead now. This is the chapter where joy won't feel temporary, where peace won't be fragile, where provision won't vanish overnight. This is the chapter where you no longer shrink to stay safe, but expand because you're secure. God is not patching together a broken storyline. He's releasing you into a whole new narrative, one that begins with restoration and ends in generational overflow. Let go of what no longer fits. Let go of the patterns that felt like protection but were really prisons. What served you in the valley won't carry you up the mountain. New language is needed, new rhythm, new identity, and heaven is declaring, you are ready. This is not a restoration of the old path. This is the birth of something that has never been seen before. Don't let the noise of the world drown out what heaven has spoken. Don't let the waiting make you question the promise. Just because the fulfillment is unfolding slowly doesn't mean it isn't sure. Heaven doesn't operate on your clock. It moves by design, divine, deliberate, and unstoppable. And your role right now is not to figure out how it's to stay faithful. Your faith is not fragile. It has been forged in fire. It has endured silence, delay, disappointment, and it still stands. That alone is a miracle, and heaven honors it. God is not asking you to understand every step. He's asking you to trust that He has ordered them. Every no was a redirection. Every closed door was a recalibration. Every unanswered prayer was a setup for something greater than you dared imagine. This is not the time to second-guess what God has already confirmed. This is not the moment to shrink under pressure. You've come too far, grown too deep, and survived too much to turn back now. What God started in you, He will finish. What He promised, He will perform. What He spoke, He will bring to pass. The atmosphere may shift, emotions may fluctuate, but His word does not fail. Don't mistake quiet for absence. In the silence, God is often working the loudest. Stay positioned. Stay open. Keep declaring even when you feel nothing. Faith is not a feeling, it's a fire, and yours is burning bright. Anchor yourself in this. He who promised is faithful, not just faithful in theory, faithful in detail, faithful in timing, faithful in you. This is not just the beginning of a miracle. This is the miracle. You're not waiting for it to knock. You're living in the threshold of it now. The shift you felt, the weight lifting, the clarity, returning, the unexpected peace settling over you, that's not coincidence. That's confirmation. You are walking inside what you used to only pray for. Heaven didn't just send you a sign. Heaven sent the substance. What you used to dream about is now forming around you in real time. Doors are opening that you never touched. Opportunities are finding you. The winds have changed direction, and now they blow in your favor. The battle has shifted. The pressure has lifted. The cloud that once hung over you is breaking because light is breaking through. This is the moment to walk boldly. This is not the season to question whether you're worthy. God already settled that. The miracle is not based on perfection. It's based on promise. And if God said it, He meant it. The only thing left for you to do is to move like it's real, speak like it's true, and live like it's done. You don't have to strive anymore. You don't have to convince God to bless you. You're not chasing the breakthrough, it's chasing you. The prayers you thought were unanswered were actually preparing the soil beneath your feet. And now you're standing in harvest. Let this be your posture: gratitude, boldness, and trust. Not because you see the full picture, but because you know the one who painted it. The miracle isn't on the way. It has arrived. Now walk in it. You are no longer the person who simply survived. You are no longer the one who wonders if God hears, if God moves, if God remembers. You are now the one He sends, the one He covers, the one He moves through. You've been refined. You've been proven. You've been chosen. This is not just the end of delay. It is the beginning of destiny. What was once hidden in you is now being unveiled to the world. What once felt small and fragile has grown into something that cannot be contained. You are not walking out of this season empty-handed. You are walking out, crowned with wisdom, clothed in favor, and anointed with fresh authority. Heaven is no longer just visiting your life, it is resting upon it. Your home is a sanctuary. Your words carry weight. Your presence shifts rooms, not because of who you are in yourself, but because of who lives in you. You are not just blessed, you are becoming a blessing. What God does in you will overflow through you into generations that follow. You are a portal of legacy, not just a receiver of provision. Now is the time to speak differently, think differently, walk differently. The mantle on your life is real, and it demands alignment. You cannot go back to who you were before this moment. That chapter is sealed. That door is closed. The wilderness is over. The storm has passed. The glory has arrived. Let no fear rob you of this season. Let no voice of shame pull you back. Let no distraction delay your obedience. This is holy ground. This is your appointment with fullness. The kingdom of God is advancing, and you are not behind. You are right on time. Step into your new identity, your new authority, your new glory. Speak life. Bless boldly. Love without fear. Give without limits. Walk in the overflow you were born for. Heaven has declared it over you. You are chosen. You are covered. And you are commissioned. Now, go forth. The world is waiting to see what God will do through you. Amen.